So for you guys, this is going into season 3, which is actually only the third. It's the second story that you're telling as part of season 2.
What?
Yes,
What?
technically.
It's very confusing.
Explain.
When we were shooting season 2, we actually shot 2 stories. The second of which is airing as season 3, but when we shot season 4,
So when we shoot 22 minutes.
Right.
That's a season. What you would call a half-hour episode is what we call a season. So we shot one of those, and then we came out with season 2, which is a half-hour episode. But when we shot that, we actually shot 2 half-hour episodes. So one half-hour episode that we have, which of course to us is 3 8-minute episodes, has yet to be released.
This is supposed to clarify what I was doing.
This is so less confusing.
Carry the one.
You're getting 44 minutes of Husbands this fall.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Wilson.
And this is new territory for you guys with CW Digital. What caused you to want to make that move from YouTube? What was going through your minds? What did they pitch you that made you so excited?
Well, we loved that they loved the show. We went to them sort of prepared to pitch our show. They knew the show, they knew what they loved about it, and they didn't want to change anything. And it's like, this is our home. This is where we want to be. And we were also very eager because it meant we would stop having to finance it through Kickstarter, which we love our fans, but we didn't want to have to keep taking the money to make the content.
It's because we love our fans that we didn't want to have to keep taking their money to make the content.
Exactly.
So for fans that have been following the show for a long time, you said there's not going to be any changes. So we're not going to expect some big person to come in and tell you what to do. You're still the creative helm of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Brad and I are making all the calls on what's the story we're going to tell and how we're going to tell it and who we're going to cast and where we're going to shoot it. All that stuff, that's still us.
And now that you're in the CW family, are you going to bring in someone like Wilson or any of these CW people that you may watch on TV for guest stars?
We actually
No, seriously, are you bringing me in?
We're filming it live right now.
I'd love to.
Yeah, we actually have someone in the story that you just saw a little bit of. One of the people on there has been on a CW show.
Which we actually didn't know.
Right.
We brought this person in, and then I was looking through IMDb, and I went, oh, well, look at the CW stuff. And then so I wrote to the CW and said, hey, we're working with CW people. But yeah, that wasn't intentional.
Yeah, she worked on CW recently.
See, now we were hiding the gender till just
Yeah, see.
It's Nina Dobrev. It's the chick from Vampire Diaries. They just don't want to
exactly
watch
right.
CW.
It's actually the entire cast of Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
Well, that's a gay show. I mean, it could be a guy as a girl.
Could be
I mean,
the
good point. She doesn't necessarily. Yeah, good point.
Teaser.
And for just doing digital in general, do you think this is a type of show that could have succeeded on cable if you had pitched it out, or did you ever think of that?
Not only that, but I think it could have succeeded on network. I just think network doesn't know that yet. I think they don't know that the audience is there.
Yeah, I don't. I think it could succeed. I think that it is not a past tense thing. I think it could succeed in many forms, which is why we made it in the format that we did, which is scalable, so that you can watch an 8-minute episode on the web, but that is part of a larger 22-minute half-hour episode, which you would see on broadcast, because it's all the same now. It's all the same TV, whether it's online or whether it's broadcast.
Yeah, and you were telling me a little bit earlier that you kind of had a grand scheme for what you're going to be doing in the next season 4, season 5. How far out have you planned?
We've got 13 episode ideas that we sort of put together. Like, we could pitch out a 13-episode season. But the interesting thing is we keep coming up with more and more. So just at the dinner 2 nights ago, these guys were having a talk, and Sean said something about the way he reacted to his brothers growing up, and we immediately were sort of like, oh, that's a story, because Cheeks wouldn't have reacted that way. Brady would have, like, there's a conflict, there's a resolution, there's a coming together, and there's a revelation of the characters. And story, as someone said in the panel I was in yesterday, about like story is just characters learning stuff. And these guys have a lot to learn, and so they're sort of infinite story.
Yeah, that's how Husbands is made. We just hang out and watch what happens between Brad and Sean.
Yeah, there's a lot of Brad and Sean in Cheeks and Brady.
Yeah, and you only have 3 series regulars right now. Is that something you'd love to expand in upcoming seasons? Have you already, tried to grab people and be like, hey, do you want to be on more than just one episode?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many interesting people in their world, and it would be fun to see them come in for certain stories and stick around for a few episodes and have arcs, or maybe whole seasons, or maybe just every now and again. But I think it'd be really fun to explore, and I actually think every episode is rife with guest star potential. I will think of a story, and then it'll occur to me, we'll need to bring somebody in for that. If they go on a flight somewhere and it's Cheeks and Brady on their way to Hawaii or whatever, we'll need a flight attendant to come in and be that role, or
and flirt with both of them.
Yeah. Or we'll need a character for this. So I think that every week there could be a different star as well as recurring stars.
We actually had in one of the upcoming episodes, we had a star who, when they exited the scene, their exit line was "for now." Because that's someone we would love to bring back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of your friends, Jane, have come in, Joss and Nathan, and a lot of people from the Whedonverse. So is that something that you specifically were like, yeah, I want to bring these people in, not for recognition, just because you love them? Or?
They were people who I knew were great, and I knew I could rely on them being awesome. And they were just people who, when we reached out to them, responded to the material.
Yeah.
Nobody was like, sure, I'll come in and do a favor. Everyone was like, I get to play this character. Yeah, when and where. So we've had great response. Like, Whedonverse people are just cool people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of y'all. And the one thing that I think is interesting is there's little inside jokes that pop back up. We were even just talking about the dog that we just saw back, but we didn't see in season 2 really at all. So are you kind of building jokes in the way that a lot of sitcoms do? Like Arrested Development's really famous for it, Community, shows like that, a lot of comedies.
Where, stuff we laid in early can come back, absolutely.
Yeah, one of the first scenes we shot for that new material, I remember asking several times, is it clear that we're going to see the zebra? Like, is the zebra established there, or are we going to need to move the zebra somewhere else?
Yeah, in season 1, that we see them steal a little ceramic zebra from the hotel room.
Rachel the zebra.
And Rachel the zebra has been in every episode since. And so it's just like a little Easter egg for the super fans.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And the fans have really been the ones who have made the show happen.
Yes. Oh, my God.
They paid for it.
Yeah.
Kickstarter?
Yeah, they actually did pay for it.
They actually made it happen.
So have you done anything really exciting for that the fans will just really appreciate in this upcoming season that you are like, you did specifically because a fan was like, I really want to see this. I want to see this from Cheeks and Brady.
Well, I mean, we don't... we wink at our fans, and we do what we think our fans will love, but that is not to say that we take short orders from fans. We don't see fans saying, please do this, and we go, okay, here, we did this because you wanted it. We sort of, we know that when we go, oh my God, yes, what an idea. Oh, I want to see that. Don't you want to see that?
Right.
We know that because we've been able to make what we've wanted to make and what's excited us from the beginning, that the people that responded to that initial show, that they will be excited about that as well. I feel like we really have a connection with our fans, so that we know that when we're getting on board with something, the people that enjoy our show will be on board with that too. So
yeah, I think there's a danger in sort of taking requests like a piano player at a bar, that you end up, the people get what they asked for, but they don't get that little extra spark of creativity of this is what the creators really, really wanted to give you from their hearts. But we have noticed things like every time the dog is on the screen that we show something publicly, everybody goes, oh, so we'll give you a little more of Bo.
Bo was amazing in that
Bo is
episode.
really
Bo's a superstar.
Bo is your dog, correct?
Yeah.
And who plays Jack, the dog that you just saw. And his ability, he fell asleep there when he needed to. What dog? That's like professional showbiz dog. Yeah.
And Brady and Cheeks have been through a lot in 2 seasons. And I was wondering, what do you think is next? Is a real wedding, like a big wedding in the works? Is there...
See, this is what I love, because this is what I mean when Jane and I come up with something, and generally we hear it echoed from fans, and we know that it's a good idea.
So a flash mob wedding.
So without spoiling anything,
that sounds cool.
That sounds like a really good idea. One that Jane and I really like.
So maybe a flash mob wedding. Wilson will rap. There's his role.
There's our crossover.
I think it could work.
I like that.
I don't know if you've seen his video he did, Rachel Bilson rapped, and him and Scott Porter, washing cars, using hoses.
Sexy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I think I got to see that video. Is that still online?
Yeah.
It is
yeah.
still
All
on the
right.
internet. We can cue it up.
I'm definitely going to be downloading that.
So on that note, Husbands has just really taken off, and it's become its own phenomenon. Now we're moving to CW. Is there anything that you just hope that you could do in the future? Do you think this could ever become a movie? Do you think this could ever be something bigger than
It's a TV
just little
show. TV shows are bigger than movies.
Mm-hmm.
Better than movies.
Although I will say I would be excited if we wanted to turn the comic book into a movie, like have the 6 editions, like live action, the middle-aged scene, the superhero, the space
See, if
scene.
we
Like
did
I
a
would
movie,
love to see that.
I'd
Or short
want-
films, maybe.
I'd want it to be like a holiday movie, like Cheeks and Brady have to get to New York for Christmas. And like they miss the train, and then they're on the back of a camel or something. I don't know.
Because that's how you get to New York.
I don't know. Or maybe they're, it's like European Vacation, but with Cheeks and Brady.
All right, that sounds pretty good. But mostly I feel we made this to be a TV show, to look like a TV show, to reference TV tropes, and that's where it belongs and lives and thrives. That's where the heartbeat of the show is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is fantastic. And the last question I have is about, like, you are no stranger to spin-offs, Jane.
Right, yeah. I'm working on the Once Upon a Time spinoff right
Yes.
now.
Round of applause for that. Do you think that if you ever introduced a couple, we kind of saw a couple in, I believe, season 2. Was it Trisha from Battlestar?
Trisha Helfer and Deacon
Yes.
Lockman in
Yes.
there in the show within a show about 2 girls in a dorm. Yeah, 2
So
30-year-old
perhaps-
girls in a dorm.
They went to college late.
Yeah.
But could that ever be Wives? Could you see another series coming
A
off of this
lot
one?
of people have asked for Wives, and I could totally see Wives happening.
I could see Wives happening, and I think they should live next door to Cheeks and Brady.
Yeah.
They're the neighbors.
And then, lots of crossovers. Yeah.
Maybe they're the Ethel and Fred to Cheeks and Brady's Lucy.
There you go.
Well, Michelle, we've actually...
We have established in some upcoming episodes, we have established a Michelle who is a lesbian. We don't see her, but she is referenced as a friend of Brady's. So
who knows? And that means Michelle is out there ripe for the casting.
So leave your casting suggestions on Twitter. They may not take them, but feel free. But we're actually going to do our audience Q&A after we talk to Wilson. So we're going to run his stupid hype clip and then do a big Q&A with everyone. So save your questions, think about them, and if we can queue up.
I think I'm doing my own AV here.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Go, Wilson.
Oh shit. I don't need this. If I want to be the.
Go press play. Is that going to do it?
It's never that easy. Come on.
Yeah, right. I haven't pressed play. Tell me when. All right. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Is this episode 1?
This is the pilot episode. Stupid hype. Pump up the jam. It's Los Angeles, 1990.
What's doper than dope? What's fresher than fresh? What's deafer than deaf? It's time to get stupid hype.
show these motherfuckers what's up. Yo, who is that? It's Hype, yo. Dopest breakdancer around. The white boy? The kid is ill.
Hey, D-Rock, is it true? The Hype did the Terminator fly rocket headstand?
Stop being a sucker, fly girl. Can't nobody hit the Terminator fly rocket headstand. Nobody.
Hype, my brother. Peace and blessings.
What's up, Mustafa?
Hey, I wanted to show you the new mural that I've been working on that depicts the lives of our righteous brothers, Louis Farrakhan, Malcolm X, Carlton Banks. Yo, Pharaoh who? You bugging, Mustafa. This party's for one thing and one thing only. Breaking and fly honey.
Damn.
Yes, many beautiful queens.
Seriously, Hype, it's about to start. We gotta get in there.
Yo, chill, Steve. I'm just laughing.
Yeah, chill, Steve. Listen, Hype. The Master Breaker B-Boy battle is in a week. You ready?
Come on, Steve.
I'm serious, Hype. Everybody's counting on you. I'm counting on you.
I'm ready. In fact, I got a brand new move gonna make me the best B-boy in history.
The Terminator fly rocket headstand?
Yeah, boy! DJ, pump this party!
Originally I was like, oh yeah, I'll just show 25 minutes of this thing. And then I realized that you guys would not want that. So we'll just show the pilot for now. If you guys want to see more, you can go to cwtv.com, which is where these guys are going to be now, and a lot of other great web shows.
Yeah, so this show came about because you had this brilliant idea.
If that's what you want to call it.
I would call it a brilliant idea. So since you were already part of the CW family, did it make it really easy to transition the show into digital? Can you talk about how that happened?
Yeah, it wasn't quite like, oh, you're part of the CW family? What do you want money for? What had happened is that when I first started doing Heart of Dixie, the network had approached me with doing some kind of like online content that would basically kind of promote, upcoming shows, and it's like little, stuff, I guess. I wouldn't really know what else to call it because it was pretty lame. So they came to me with this idea at the time that was like kind of shitty, and I was like, look, if no offense, I mean they kind of know that it was shitty. So I said like, look, I want to do stuff for you guys in this kind of new web world, but if you don't mind, like, can I just do it myself with some friends? And if you like it, you can use it, and if not, you don't have to. So they were very cool about that. They let me do my thing. I turned into them this kind of, 2-minute long fake PSA that I did called Give a Shirt, which you can find on YouTube. But it was like a play on global warming where all the guys on the CW take their shirts off all the time.
Accurate.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Never do.
So anyway, like they were really happy with the way that turned out. Being the savvy operator that I am, I parlayed that into what became Call Me Doctor, the rap video we did with Rachel Bilson, which if you guys haven't seen it, there's Leonardo da Vinci and then there's that. It's fun. It's the real thing. And that was a big hit for the network. In their eyes, it was like a modest budget, and it got a lot of press and eyes, I guess, for the network. And it gave me a point of some leverage where they were just launching the digital arm of the network. And they approached me about ideas that I had. Shockingly, they went along with this, but that was the genesis of it.
Yeah. And how did you create hype? Like, what was going through your mind? Were you out drinking? Were you listening to a lot of 90s rap?
Well, I've always listened to a lot of 90s rap. Blame It on the Rain is truly one of my all-time favorite songs. I don't think it's called rap necessarily, but, Milli Vanilli, come on. No, it was, I was we were brainstorming for ideas, and years ago, I had done like this kind of British alter ego rapper. It was like at the onset of this kind of grime rap phase, and I really liked the idea of having a rapper alter ego. And then my brother and I were out on a hike one day, and we were kind of throwing ideas off each other. My brother's a music producer, and he kind of said like, well, what about something with like Vanilla Ice? And that prompted me to watch Cool as Ice, which if you guys have never seen it, find a big fat joint, smoke that thing, and you'll never be the same. It's like truly one of the most incredible psychedelic pieces of art you'll ever see. So yeah, I watched that and I was like beyond inspired. And that was kind of the genesis. And then me and my kind of creative partner, this cat Dugan O'Neill, who directed the series, he and I kind of started brainstorming, and we got my brother involved to do all the music. So there's a full original soundtrack to Hype. There's like
on iTunes and Amazon now.
And it's kind of, every song is kind of based on like like one of your favorite 90s songs. So there's like, Pump Up that first song, Feel the Fire, which is banging, is kind of Pump Up the Jam. There's one that's kind of has a Belle Biv DeVoe vibe. Kind of tripped on my words there. But yeah, it's like, bunch, I don't know, I got lost.
And you wrote all of the music.
I wrote all the music with my brother, yeah. I wrote the words, he did the music, and that definitely proved. The other thing I was going to show that, if you go online, there's music videos. So a lot of the episodes, there's a kind of Flight of the Conchords type thing where the episode will move into a music video that kind of continues the story, and that stuff for us was super fun. It's also where you get like really ludicrous, and but it was amazing. It was amazing to make that music, to have the opportunity to kind of live as a faux artist of 1990.
And would you have still done the show if they wouldn't let you star in it for some reason, or was it just like your baby and you needed to be the one?
No, I mean, I wish I was that confident. When we were, like, I remember actually all through the writing process, and even as, like, production was nearing, I was super scared to play the role. It was, like, such a far cry from anything I've done, like, on camera before. I mean, I'm, like, a total wacky character in my real life, but like I don't generally like show. Yeah, like this is like in the shower. I'm a wacky character. Like literally, I talk in a lot of voices in the shower. Like I practice accents. So yeah, it was. I was super scared to play the character, and fortunately, my kind of creative partner like really goaded me into it. But no, I was not. There was no part of me that was like, this must be me. I was up until the very end, kind of like entertaining possibilities of other people who could play that role.
How did you learn how to do that face? Was that something you thought in the shower?
I watched a lot of Zoolander. It was actually, but again, like that's kind of a cross between Zoolander and like real Vanilla Ice. Like if you watch, like it's incredible. Like no self-awareness at all. He's like in Cool as Ice, like. And the dude's got like cheekbones and a jaw for days, so if you suck in your cheeks even more, you look like weird.
He's trying to make a comeback.
Dude, he's got a home improvement show. God bless him. We tried to get him in the series, and like he was too much bank. We couldn't afford him.
But you did have Flavor Flav come in.
We have in episode 5, we have an incredible cameo from Flavor Flav, who kind of plays the Obi-Wan Kenobi type character, leading Hype on his journey. And yeah, we got both kind of incredible guest and not so guest actors involved, and then also some wonderful, kind of 90s throwbacks, like Kel from Kenan and Kel plays the kind of villain D-Rock. That was really cool for us because he's both a great actor, a great dancer, and he's like a touchstone from that era.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. But no, like the cast in general was just like, we were so thrilled with the way it came together.
Yeah, and you guys kind of have a connection here because John Huertas, who's on Castle,
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion, who's on Husbands.
Yeah.
So it all comes together.
That was how this all came together.
Yeah.
That was how this panel
They were like,
came together.
So Husbands is on CW
Yeah.
because
John
Huertas.
Huertas,
But he did it.
who's incredible. John kind of steals the show if you guys have already seen it or if you want to see it. Like, he's unbelievable in this show. He doesn't appear in the pilot, but he plays the character Guru, who hype from here after he breaks his foot. Just kind of give you a little breakdown. He goes on a journey to become a rapper. He decides that that's what his real life calling is. So it becomes kind of 8 Mile with Vanilla Ice.
And 90s nostalgia is huge right now, as you can see with Boy Meets World being here.
Sure.
Is that something that made you want to do this, or is it just because you love that rap era?
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a part of it. I mean, I think especially for web series, it really helps to have like a clear inroad. And for us, the clear inroads were the era where style-wise you can look at a picture from that era and laugh. And also music, which like I think we've all learned from Lonely Island and that kind of stuff. Like, it's incredible how fast that stuff ropes you in. Like 10 seconds into a Lonely Island video, you're like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. So that was really important for us to have the kind of two things. And then we created, obviously, we figured out what the story was around that. And that's hype.
Yeah, and you were telling me that Stupid Hype isn't technically getting a second season. You're doing something else. Do you want to talk about that? I don't know if you were going to.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have also. You guys think you're the only ones with exclusive footage. No, I have a 1-minute teaser. I don't want to run up on the Q&A time, but if we have a second, I'll show. I have a 1-minute teaser. So Stupid Hype was basically, unlike Husbands, which very smartly could be parlayed into a television show. Stupid Hype definitely could not be. It's basically like a 70-minute movie that is chopped up into episodes. So the entire story of Hype is told on this web series. When the CW kind of came back to us and said, we love this, like, what's the next thing? We kind of panicked, me and my partner, and we're like, we have no idea. So we ended up having to come up with a whole new idea. We pitched them some new ideas, and the newest iteration, you guys are hearing it first, is called LA Rangers, where me and my partner Dugan O'Neill play LA Park Rangers, who are aspiring filmmakers. And every episode is us kind of pitching movie ideas to each other in the park, in Griffith Park in Los Angeles. And as we kind of talk about movies and pitch our ideas, the movie starts taking shape around us. So we end up as like the main actors. Every episode is like kind of a surreal genre movie with 2 park rangers in the lead roles. It's really weird. If you thought we were going to go straight after this, you're dead wrong.
So no dancing and no singing in this one.
We'll probably find an opportunity for it, yeah. But no, it's definitely tonally it's pretty different. But I think that's for the best. Yeah, it's nice for us to kind of continue exploring different ideas and oh my god.
It's all happening.
Yeah, this is really happening. I don't know. Do I have time to show a 1-minute teaser?
You definitely do.
We can hopefully.
And then we're going to open it up to audience Q&A.
Yeah,
so
cool.
ready your questions.
So this is like. Also, really, this is like new too. We shot this in a day, and it just kind of gives you a sense of, I guess what we're doing.
And do you have a timeline of when this may be hitting the web? You guys are around August?
August, yeah.
The way my understanding is that the CW, Husbands, LA Rangers, and I believe 3 other shows are going to be coming out in a couple of different blocks. Theirs are coming out early or like at the end of the summer, and I believe LA Rangers and another 1 or 2 are coming out this fall.
Awesome. So let's cue it up. Wait. Oh.
Oh. No worries.
But
In the meantime, if anybody would like.
I was just going to tell people, it sounds like it's worth checking that CW page all the time because new stuff's going to be going up all of this late summer and fall. Yeah.
And they have, I think one thing that we were all talking about is like how cool it is to have like a proper network, like a real corporate organization. Cool and a corporate organization don't usually go in the same sentence. But they actually are. They've both kind of been incredibly supportive of this medium and taking it seriously and putting the kind of money and stuff behind it. And simultaneously, and this is unheard of in Hollywood, like having demanding zero creative oversight.
Yeah, isn't it kind of? It's refreshing. We keep sort of waiting for like when is the boom gonna fall, and it's like no, they want our show the way our show is. Yeah.
We were putting off. They kept like Rick Haskins, who kind of heads up this new department, kept saying like, I want to come to set, and we were like, we cannot let this man on set. Whatever happens, he cannot see what we're doing. Like they'll pull the plug immediately. And he like finally came to set and was like, this is incredible, So all right, this is LA Rangers. It's pretty weird.
In the most dangerous city in the country, in the most dangerous park in the city, 2 Rangers will be the city's last line of defense.
Hey, dude, do you think it should be the last line of defense, or would it be better?
Well, how about this sign? They're gonna hang up themselves, so... Penis is out.
This holiday season.
What's the name of the movie?
LA Rangers.
I like it. But it sounds more like a web series.
You don't like the idea.
No, I love it, man.
No, man, you don't like the idea. I can hear it in your voice.
It could easily be bad. I just need to find a platform.
You never like my ideas.
I love your ideas. Don't say this to me right now.
You guys are the first people ever to see that.
Awesome. So I am going to open this up for questions. Just raise your hand. I'm going to reiterate the question up here to these guys, and feel free to ask for either show. Just let me know who you're asking for. Well, I saw you right first here, sir.
Thank you. On husbands, one of the things that's so compelling to me is that your relationships first, gay second, in that order, so that I relate so deeply to everything that you're doing. That was on purpose, right? That's part of what you were doing?
Yeah, it was on purpose.
Wait, repeat the question because we're doing this on a podcast.
It's because there is a great video camera in the back. We have to reiterate. So you're asking that the relationship came first before.
But that's the focus of the.
That's the focus, not.
You're doing it on the relationship, and that you just happen to be gay, rather than you're gay first and then any other.
Yeah. So that the focus of the relationship was not about being gay; it was just about being in a relationship.
Right. The gay didn't come first. It came intrinsic to the relationship in which there are two men. And yeah, that was intentional for a couple of reasons, because a lot of times when people say they want a character to be incidentally gay, what they mean is they want him to be masculine. Or what they mean is they want him to be single. You know, he's also gay, but he's sort of gay in title only. He doesn't do anything that's ever gay, like have sex with another man.
Which is basically the only thing that makes him
really
gay.
the only
That's
qualifier
it.
for
Not the way
being
he
gay.
acts, nothing else. Just that he has sex with men.
So yeah, we wanted to make that point, and it's also the reason that we're not interested in the storyline of having kids, because I think that sort of the way the other shows have gotten away with having gay couples is that they have kids, which, well, that must make them relatable. Every straight person has a kid. You know, heteros know what it's like to raise babies, so give them a kid, and that way straight people will have a reason to watch, and they don't have to think about that sex part too much. And the other thing is that relationships for gay characters, at least one of the actors is always straight. So you've always got the, well, nothing could really be going on there because one of them is straight at least. So yeah, we wanted to make a point in all of those different facets.
Holy shit!
That joke never gets old.
But I was would say that there's something about relatability that we actually weren't even thinking about when we made it. We sort of learned later that when people watch a romantic comedy, their gender determines which half of that romantic comedy couple they relate to and through whose eyes they see the story. You get a show with a same gender couple, everyone who's watching can choose in that moment whether they're agreeing with Cheeks or Brady, and it means that the show actually becomes more relatable to everybody out there rather than less relatable.
Yeah, I'm excited for the upcoming content because it's even more about these two guys and their relationship. So it's really great question because
yeah.
Great. And who is next? You're there on the couch.
Yesterday, Jane had mentioned something in the panel about how even though they were doing their own thing and it was on the web and they could go in a lot of different directions with the content, she and Brad wanted to keep it very network friendly. And that was a conscious decision. I was wondering if you could just talk about that again, maybe a little bit more, and why that was so important.
Yeah, we really wanted to make sure that no one could sort of point at it and go like, oh, well, that's content that could live only on the web because you couldn't show that on network TV. I mean, we wanted to make really clear that we show nothing between these two guys that you wouldn't show with a straight couple, and it was just sort of making the point of like what we're doing isn't so outlandish. It's nothing you haven't seen before. The thing that's making it fresh is the gay element, and we think our fresh, hot, sexy joke writing. But we love TV, and we wanted to make a show that clearly was part of the TV tradition.
Well, and the concept of the show, what got us thinking, hey, that's it. The genesis of the show was a conversation about I Love Lucy, and how networks didn't want it, and sponsors wouldn't get behind it, and they were terrified. Yeah, and it was seen as edgy. And then, okay, well, they can share the same bed, but it has to be two beds pushed together. And then she got pregnant, and the network's reaction was, oh, no, now the implication is they're having sex, even though they were married. So they said, well, she can be pregnant, and we don't have to hide the pregnancy if you push the twin beds apart. And it's just funny that seemed controversial, that show was ever considered pushing the envelope. And so we sort of posed the question, can you push the envelope again in a way that doesn't actually push any envelopes, but is pushing the envelope? And newlywed comedy with two men seemed to be the answer. And, I feel like that's the great thing, and one of my favorite things about what we do is that it is edgy at the same time that it's completely harmless. And, edgy doesn't have to mean drugs and anonymous sex and that dark, seedy world that I feel like edgy gay content goes to. But it is edgy because it's a framework that has always existed that's never had this sort of element.
It's edgy because they're intimate. It's edgy because they're sharing their feelings together. I mean, which is remarkable because as human beings, that's what we should be doing anyway.
Next question. You in the reddish.
So, do you guys have to factor in unions or guilds in doing any of these shoots? And does the need or choice to do that change as you become tied to more corporate entities?
Yeah, we could probably, both shows can address this. Yeah, we did ours union for the crew and us. And so actually Brad got into the Writers Guild as a result of doing this because we wanted it to. And the Writers Guild and everybody makes it easier now to do things union. They've got a little department that talks to our line producer and makes sure that the paperwork is straightforward.
Yeah, they want you to be working, and they want you to be creating that opportunity and going through them. So they're a lot more willing to work with you than maybe they were, a few years ago.
And going under the CW didn't change any of that.
Right. What changes that is how much money you're making. So if all of a sudden, you're making, your budget is $25,000 a minute or something, then you're going to have to really change what you're doing. But a fly just flew in front of my face. Other than that, yeah, they're pretty easy to work with.
We used Indonesian slave labor and pocketed large sums of money. No, we we also use unions, and it makes, I'm sure you guys, anybody who's kind of produced any kind of, whether it's a short film or anything, if you're paying people even nominal amounts of money, but what they're used to getting, or somewhere in the ballpark of it, everybody's going to be so much happier on set, and it makes for an environment where it's not like people checking their watches every 5 minutes, like, this was a gift that I'm here at all,
Yeah, there's that great expression, free is too expensive.
Yeah,
like, if you aren't paying people, they don't feel like they have to show up, and you ends up costing you more.
Yeah.
The white, sir?
Wilson, have you always been interested in production side? Did you start making films when you were a kid?
No. It's something that I've become very passionate about, but really just in the last couple years. I mean, I've always been a writer, so that side of things has always been very important to me, as far as like a creative output, especially when. For years on end, it can feel like, I worked on a fucking soap opera for a year. I was like, this is not what I aspire to. But writing, in the meantime, was something else for me. But no, production was something completely new to me, and it's thrilling, really, and something I'm really looking forward to doing more in the future.
In the brown?
My question's for Jane. As a writer, because you've written so much, and you're a huge inspiration to me as a writer, by the way. I was wondering if you approach writing for web series different than you do for like network series or cable series. What your process is.
Yeah, the question's about writing for web series versus other things. Thank you, first of all. No, it's exactly the same. We set out to write Husbands the same as we would write any half hour, and Brad had such a great innate, born out of years of watching television. I feel like he had internalized the rules of half-hour TV even better than I had. So it felt very much like the exact same thing. We write the same jokes in the same procedure in the exact same way you would for a broadcast show. And I hope it shows, because we wanted it to have that feeling.
Was it super intimidating for you, Brad, to kind of walk in? I mean,
you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, right. Not that you seem like somebody who's easily intimidated, but I know. I mean, I would have shit myself.
I think I've gotten to the point where I have in life. Not that I've succeeded this far, because, but I have done what little humble amount that I have, because I don't think about things. I don't know any better. That's my life advice to people, is don't know any better. I called up an agent at William Morris, I think, when I was 19, and I said, we went to the same high school, and I just moved to LA. Want to get together for lunch? And he said yes. Why, I have no idea, but I walked into William Morris wearing just a vest, so it was a vest like this, and skinny jeans and cowboy boots. And I remember walking up to the receptionist and being like, hi, I'm looking for the guy I was looking for. And the whole office was like... And I thought, that's how you get attention in Hollywood. And he's still a contact to this day. So
that's amazing. I've never heard this story.
Well, and I look back and I think, God, what were you thinking? I almost feel like it was my little brother, and I'm the older brother going, how, why? But no, I wasn't intimidated to start with. And then I remember sitting at Comic-Con, and Jane was on a panel, and
on everything.
And just sort of soaking it all in, and all of a sudden going, oh, Jane's never had a writing partner before. I think that was maybe what you said. You were like, I've never had a writing partner. And I thought, and she's partnered with me? Joss Whedon thinks she's brilliant, and she thinks I'm brilliant, and I'm not. I've made her think I'm brilliant. So I've been keeping up pretty well so far.
Yeah, he's been not just keeping up. He's now run ahead, and I'm just trying to hang on.
He's grown up. He's filled out.
Filled out? Are you saying I got fat?
No, I realized. I totally realized when I said that. No, you're whole.
That's a good cue, buddy.
I'm gonna get shit later. No,
Next question. You in the red?
So it seems throughout the panels I've noticed that most web series that are successful tend to be comedies. What do you think about that? Is it comedy or does it really matter?
all the dramas online suck anyway. That's why.
Well,
kidding.
I think comedy
I
is.
don't watch them.
Comedy and horror are more forgivable for low production values. You see a drama, especially something, that takes place at a seaside castle or that has to have a dragon that's supposed to be scary or whatever it might be. And I think it's easier to find somebody who can execute comedy. Not that comedy is easier, but I think it's easier to find somebody who can understand comedy and why it works than it is to find a dramatic actor who is not histrionic and sort of soapy and over the top and like, don't you understand? I love you. I think that, and it's more forgiving and you can sort of light everything evenly. It doesn't have to look, like some Oscar-winning movie. It's just lighter. It's less of an investment and you can laugh instead of having to emotionally commit to the scene.
And we saw a really good web hour the one that done through Machinima, and we thought it was it looked like the X-Files. So it definitely can be done. Comedy. I think comedy works because it's shorter, and people are still in the pattern of watching shorter content online. I think it's as simple as that.
I also, I think that there's a different kind of preparation that you make as a viewer when you're sitting down to watch a drama. And for whatever reason, sitting in front of your computer is not that preparation, I don't know. I mean, for me personally, like, if I want to watch something dramatic, like I want to sit down. I really want to kind of immerse myself in it in a way that comedy can feel almost like more flippant. It's like in how you choose to approach it. Like, oh, I'm just going to watch this video real fast. Oh, that's great. And then you move on, you're in your life. As opposed to like, I'm going to watch this video real fast, and then you're crying. And then you're like, God, this is the worst day ever. And I don't know.
Well, and I think maybe people are more creative in comedy online because it seems like the drama that you watch on television is compelling and high concept. Like when I watch The Walking Dead, I'm like, oh my God, is she going to get out of the car? And I have to know the next episode. I feel like a lot of online drama tends to be, like, oh no, they broke up. Yeah. Are they going to get back together? He's not at the party like he said he would be. And like, I don't care. Sorry, I don't. So I think maybe that has something to do with it too.
There are a few, I think, that have kind of emerged lately, like with Wigs. I don't know if you're familiar with that series.
Sure.
So that, I think, is the only one that really stands out as being able to do drama. But it's still hard. You don't want to cry in front of your screen watching someone with PTSD in a relationship.
It's still early days, though. We will see what online content is going to look like in, say, 1 year, 2 years. It keeps changing. It changed between our season 1 and season 2. The entire way people watch web content changed, and it'll continue to change for a while.
Does House of Cards count in this conversation?
Oh,
it is
good
online,
point.
and it is a really good drama.
Well, but I watched House of Cards on my television. How many people have television where they watch online? Yeah, me too.
Basically, it's a TV show.
And I think that will happen more and more, I guess, as the experience is not, I'm sitting in a computer for this, you can settle in to watch. So maybe we'll see more drama happen that way.
Next question. Bueller?
I am loving your polka dot hat, sir. I just have to say that. It's awesome.
Well, thank you all for coming. And again, August will be the premiere of Husbands on CWTV.
That's right.
And LA Rangers,
God only knows.
stay up to date with all the months.
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll find more.
Thank you.